Welcome to the AFT Cycling Podcast. We're commentating live for the 2025 Tour de France Stage 2 here. It's a hilly stage, and there was already one King of the Mountains climbs so far taken on the route, and Andreas Leknesson won the first one. It was a category 4. There was 1 point toward the KOM classification. And then there was the second one, which was won by Tim Wellens of UAE XRG. And then Tadej Pogacar was second, teammate of Tim Wellens. So now as we look at it here, it's 23 kilometers to go. There was a split in the group over the top of that climb. There was a coming together, I think, between riders. One of those was Jonathan Milan. And now descending onto the road, there's a group of about 15 to 20 riders trying to ride their way across to the group, the main peloton. I do believe that Jonathan Milan is one of those riders. Few others in here. Leonard Van Eetvelt in here in this group that's trying to get back on. He fell earlier in the day. Had to get 3 riders of his team to help bring him back across. Also falling in that crash was Irishman Eddie Dunbar, but he last time I saw was safe in the middle of the peloton. So peloton is spread across the road here. The graphics showing they're doing 62 kilometers per hour. On the right hand side, we have Israel Premier Tech. Then it's the train of UAE Emirates XRG. Then it's Alpecin, the Kunik, EF, Bora, Tudor Pro Cycling, and Uno X Mobility. And it is about 40 to 30 seconds to that group of nearly 20 riders that is chasing on. And I think it might be a done deal. 32 seconds is what the graphic is showing. And spread across the road here now, the peloton, but not taking it easy at all. They're really, really going to have a go here. Still 2 climbs to come, a category 3, a category 4, and then a ramp up to the finish. But the ramp up to the finish, there will be no King of the Mountains points. Also coming up now on the right hand side for the riders, left hand side as we look at it from the front, Soudal Quickstep position and Remco Evenepoel, and I think that's Emilien Jeanneret of Team Total Energy trying to get in there as well with a couple of his teammates. Ben Healy up near the front. You can see the Irish bands on his lower shoulder, the sleeve of his shoulder. And there's a traffic island here that they have to navigate. A replay here. Ooh, spectators taking video with their phone, very nearly getting in the way of the whole Israel Premier Tech train. With 20 kilometers to go is what we're going to see here. No real attacking yet. It was driven hard on the front by Tim Wellens, but as we look at the back of the peloton now, we have Lenny Martinez, Simon Yates, Adam Yates, Quinn Simmons, 4 riders at the back of that there. There's also a rider from the team of Alpecin Deceuninck, 107. I didn't catch his name, though, off the back. It was Jersey. Yeah, so 4 riders in the centre for EF. Hopefully now for the Irish. Ben Healy can deliver something today, but there's 4 riders in a line in the centre in the pink of EF Education Easy Post, and the 4 of them suggesting he is the rider for their day is Ben Healy. So on the right hand side now, it's Visa Melissa Bike. Israel Premier Tech have surrendered their place at the front. UAE, Alpecin, this is as we're working left across the front. Bora have like 2 riders in a protective bubble for Primo Roglic. Right behind Roglic, kind of to the side of Mathieu van der Poel, is the yellow jersey, which is Jasper Philipsen. Another traffic island here splits proceedings. as they have to navigate this 18.9 kilometers to go. And that group with Johnny Milan that we saw, I was talking about earlier, well, they are 42 seconds behind. So they are pretty much out of contention now, especially when we're coming up to the climb. That's Matteo Jorgensen, I believe, working his way up on the not even part of the road. It's like hard shoulder, past the hard shoulder. Also, we can see now Benjamin Thomas on the right hand side, the polka dot jersey wearer, on 2 points. He's tied now with Tim Wellens after Tim Wellens took 2 points earlier today. Not far for the riders to go now to this group, but what happened for some of the sprinters is Milan and Girmay. Girmay second in yesterday's stage. They're both dropped in that group 42 seconds down the road, and that's in the interest now of Albus and Koenig. If they can get over the climb, it'll be very good for them to see if they can get more points for Jasper Philipsen. Well, it'll be hard to see for them to stay up there. Obviously, the final climb topping out away from a good bit away from the finish, but still we have 9.4 kilometers to go to ride to the first of the two climbs. That's 1.1 kilometers at 9.4%, but also features 200 meters at 15.3% average gradient. And then it's 12.5 kilometers until we hit the Côte d'Artrau of 800 meters at 8%. Just for the riders, it's going to be important for positioning. Tadej Pogacar and Tim Wellens were side by side. Jonas Vingegaard was in there, but Remco Evenepoel and Primo Roglic were nowhere to be seen. So that for them is going to be possibly a worry that they're not going to be able to position themselves into the best possible place that they can be, because when it's going to start kicking off, they're going to really, really need to have to be up there. Because, if the likes of Ben Healy are attacking, you'd like to think Tadej would wait, but Tadej's going to go. Tadej will take the yellow today if he can. But the likes of Mathieu van der Poel also could be a good rider. Mathieu van der Poel, world champion last year, good classic rider. And it's gone over a minute now for the group of Biniam Girmay and Mila. Well, that cannot be correct because I've just seen Biniam Girmay in the peloton. And I believe that's the broad shoulders there, number 81. I think that is Jean Milan as well. So Pro Cycling Stats are feeding me lies, I think. Wout van Aert in there beside Joao Almeida. And we're just riding along here, not really any action to be able to take it. Adam Yates still at the back of the peloton. Also, Eddie Dunbar, I can see at the back of the peloton as well. And this is where the group is still over a minute behind. So they obviously were not part of that group. But now, repositioning the teams. On the right hand side, it's Ineos Grenadiers, then it's Visma Lease Bike led by Victor Campenaerts, then it's UAE Emirates XRG led by Marc Soler, Alpecin Koenig, Bora Hansgrohe, EF Education, Easy Post, Uno X Mobility, one rider from Cofidis, the polka dot jersey, in fact. It is Benjamin Thomas, and then Soudal Quickstep on the left hand side. And that's the front being controlled for now. There's an 18 kilometers per hour wind coming from a headwind from their left, so threatening to split. Gonna make Ineos and Visma work very hard here as the road just bends to the right. As we look at the back of the peloton, though, Mauro Schmid and Eddie Dunbar have been at the back of the peloton for about the first 2 days of this race. They've spent most of their time at the back of the peloton here, but this is not going to be great for him if he's going for GC. although you probably say his GT chances are done after losing over 5 minutes. 15 kilometres to go, Archie, for stage 2 of the 2025 Tour de France. Live commentary here on the AFD Cycling Podcast. And they start to gear up here. 5 kilometres to go to the summit of the climb. And Soler here and co really, really, really working hard to bring this speed, 35 kilometers per hour on an incline. And it's a big incline at that as they start to get the false flat coming in to the first of the KOM, category 3 climb. And this group has been greatly reduced there. I can see the distinctive arched glasses of Eddie Dunbar. And I am looking here for Ben Healy. Ben Healy is second wheel in the EF train. And Biniam Girmay is in there as well. Remco Evenepoel, Tadej Pogacar, Tim Wellens, all those riders. Trying to get us a look. There's Milan as well. So Milan definitely in there as well. We're probably not going to be, for them, a huge chance at the stage win. And Maximilian Schachmann pulls off the front for Soudal Quickstep on the right-hand side. His day is done, but 13.6 kilometres to go. Don't go anywhere because this is going to light up here as EF start to make their drive. Ineos lose the position. Wout van Aert trying to get up. So it's Uno X, EF, and now it's Intermarché Wanty controlling the front here as we come straight headfirst towards this climb. EF move over to the right. There's going to be a roundabout, and most of the riders take it on the right-hand side. But the left-hand side was the better side, and that's the side that EF have gone to. Really good positioning now for Ben Healy. Onto the front goes Ben Healy. So I wondered who they are riding for. Geraint Thomas in there as well. Harry Sweeney, I think, is the rider. Narvaez trying to work his way up. Vingegaard in a good position. And they're going to go the wrong way around the roundabout now for the shortest route for EF. They should have gone across the other side because now they've lost that advantage. And this trying to gauge which side of the roundabout is shorter when they have to split and go around. Well, now EF are really far back, and it's the turn of Soudal Quickstep to have Remco Evenepoel in a very good position. We can see Matteo Trentin here as the mad scramble is going on here from Groupama FDJ. Trentin, I think, is bringing up Julian Alaphilippe. No, that's Mark Hirschi in there. And Ben Healy's trying to get up on the right-hand side as well. Remco Evenepoel in there as well. And it's 12.3 kilometres to go. And Ben Healy's riding himself on the front. There's a traffic island here. There's a rider from the Decathlon Agence Tour La Mondiale nearly finds out what it's like to hit a traffic island at high speed. But he gets out of the way just in time. 12 kilometres to go. And Ben Healy is on the front on the right-hand side. There's a traffic islands in the middle every 100 or so metres. And EF are losing the battle for the front here. And Healy's pulling off. So maybe Healy isn't going for this stage. Vingegaard's here, 7th wheel or so on the left-hand side as we look at it from the air. They're going forward. 11.5 kilometres to go, coming toward the climb. There's a mad scramble. I cannot see Tadej Pogacar here near the front of the group. Poor positioning from UAE Emirates. And it's Tudor Pro Cycling here and EF. And EF are after burning up all the riders I see. I see Tim Wellens and I see Narvaez of UAE Emirates XRG here. And now we're nearing 10 kilometres left in stage 2 of the Tour de France 2025. Stage 2 here, yellow jersey on the shoulders of Jasper Philipsen, a sprinter though, so likely to come off his shoulders by the end of the day. And we're right at the bottom of the climb now, just a kilometre to go to it. 2.3 to the top, a kilometre to go to the base. And it's Groupama FDJ really taking control of this now. Groupama FDJ, one rolls over, the other rolls over, and they are stretching this out. And I'm wondering who in favour is this going to be of, because Victor Campenards comes to the front here. And it's a mad scramble because Victor Campenards, Tish Benu of Visma Lisa Bike, and then there's the riders of Groupama FDJ. There's riders from Ineos Grenadiers, riders from Total Energy swarming over the top. There's the 10 kilometres to go arch here. Big right-hander here. Hopefully everyone gets through safely. And it seems that they do. Groupama FDJ now have a rider who's slightly off the front here. But another turn, this time left. I'm trying to spot the rainbow bands of world champion jersey on the back of Tadej Pogacar. And there he is on the right-hand side. About 15 riders back. And here we go. Here is the climb. And now Groupama FDJ really, really going to go. This climb kicks up, hits 15% gradient, and then it's the category 3 climb sprint. Then it goes down and it goes back up into 12% maximum gradient category 4 climb. And here we are. There's 670 meters to go to the top. Groupama FDJ have one rider on the front here. Tish Benu, second wheel for Visma Lisa Bike. Wellens is struggling. Right hand side there, Vingegaard trying to find the wheel of Tadej Pogacar on the left hand side. Remco Evenepoel is struggling to move up here. Tish Benu goes onto the front now. Mathieu van der Poel on his wheel. Then it's Tadej Pogacar, then it's Jonas Vingegaard. But then I think it is Matteo Jorgensen, not Remco Evenepoel, as you would expect. Rider there from UAE XRG in the mix is Jonathan Narvaez. There's a rider. There's Evenepoel. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7th wheel. Pogacar's third wheel. Fourth wheel for Vingegaard. Fifth wheel for Matteo Jorgensen, and 6th wheel now for Remco Evenepoel as he goes over the top of the rider from Groupama FDJ. Tish Benu pulls off here now. Mathieu van der Poel in the front. And I say he dearly does not want at 15% here Tadej Pogacar to attack. Pogacar's looking behind. And Matteo Jorgensen is an attack. Number 15 of Visma Lisa Bike attack. And he is the secondary option for the general classification for Visma Lisa Bike. Directly, straight away followed by Tadej Pogacar, then Jonas Vingegaard, Mathieu van der Poel, and there's a split. And there's a split with like 3 or 4 riders in between it. 12% now, 250 meters to go to the top of the climb. To come over the top of the climb first here for Tadej Pogacar would, at the moment, secure him first on the polka dot jersey classification. There's 6 riders here. It's Matteo Jorgensen, Tadej Pogacar, Jonas Vingegaard, Mathieu van der Poel, Remco Evenepoel, and 1 rider from Groupama FDJ. And we're going to try to figure out who that is. And Roman Gregor, I think, is the rider there. Roman Gregor. 8.7 kilometers to go, guys. Don't go anywhere because there's 2 riders, Narvaez and a rider from Ineos Grenadiers, trying to come across here. This is the top of it. And Tadej Pogacar is going to lead us over the top of this. And Tadej Pogacar has 3 points in the King of the Mountains classification now. He is now the virtual leader. Narvaez and the rider from Ineos trying to come across. Lipovitz and I don't know who that is from Israel, Premier Tech. But there is Jasper Philipsen trying to... Oh, just rider from Airbnb's hotels after going over the top of this group here. Remco Evenepoel, second wheel. Then it's Mathieu van der Poel. Evenepoel's going to pull through, though. 8.3 kilometers to go only here in stage 2 of the Tour de France 2025. Live commentary here on the AFD Cycling Podcast. Mathieu van der Poel pulls through here. Roman Gregor in behind him. Then it is Remco Evenepoel. Then it is Jonas Vingegaard, the Dane. And are these riders going to cooperate? Are at 8 kilometers to go? Well, Gregoire has said, if you're not going to cooperate, I'm going to go solo here. And Gregoire has like a 5-meter gap here to Remco Evenepoel, who is going to pull him back. And Gregoire will say, oh, I was pulling. As there's a group of 15 riders here trying to close now. That looked like a big group of like nearly a peloton not too long ago. 80 kilometers per hour as the speeds are hitting on the descent here. Super Aero Tuck being hit by Remco Evenepoel on the front of this group. So there's a group of 15, 20 riders about 3 to 5 seconds off this lead group. Then it's the group of the Maillot Jaune, the yellow jersey, the leader of this race, Jasper Philipsen, at 11 seconds. 73 kilometers per hour to speed. Evenepoel being hung out to dry here on the front of this group. I can confirm that Ben Healy nor Eddie Dunbar is in this group. Irish riders not present in this front group. I assume now Oscar Onley's going to be one there. Those strong riders. A rider from our KBB Hotels is after going with Mathieu van der Poel and they're getting a bit of daylight here, but Van der Poel is going to ride through here. Jorgensen to chase. Narvaez on the wheel. Teammate of Tadej Pogacar, remember. And we're 6.3 kilometers here from the finish. Van der Poel riding on the front. Very strong here. And they start the second climb just as the second group gets back on. 15 seconds to the yellow jersey group. And I don't believe Ben Healy is here. I do not think Ben Healy is present in this group. This maxed out at 12% in the last couple of hundred meters of it. There is a rider from Picnic PostNL. I would think that rider is likely going to be Oscar Onley. It does look a bit like Oscar Onley. Right on the wheel of Remco Evenepoel. 11% now. Geraint Thomas in here. There's riders not too far behind. Joao Almeida here missed this, and he's going to say, well, I might as well very well ride across here, and that's what he's very well going to do here. But he's a good way behind. Fourth wheel of the second group now is the yellow jersey, Jasper Philipsen. Almeida's riding this back, as there's a rider on the front for UAE Emirates XRG on the front group. 5.7 kilometers to go. 360 meters to the top of the final climb of the day. And Eddie Dunbar dropped. And Ben O'Connor. Eddie Dunbar, I think, being tasked with keeping Ben O'Connor safe. Probably a bit late now. As Almeida makes his way across. Joao Almeida, very strong rider. The Portuguese man. And here we see now. Who's going to go? A rider from KBMA Hotels. 180 meters to the top. Oscar Onley, I think it is following from Team Picnic PostNL. Jonas Vingegaard going to follow, so is Tadej Pogacar. And now will Almeida at the back of this stay on here? Well, the rider from Arkea B&B Hotels getting a bit of daylight here. But he's going to get the point at the top. Pogacar third over the top. So, Pogacar's your new polka dot jersey. And Philipsen is going to be dropped through the smoke of the flares. And they need to ride here if they want to get rid of Philipsen. 16 seconds behind. Bike change for Girmay. Attack by Jonas Vingegaard on the right-hand side, guys. Don't go anywhere here. It's all lining up in the Tour de France. First attack of Jonas Vingegaard. And he has a slight bit of daylight to Remco Evenepoel. A slight bit of daylight to Tadej Pogacar as well. 64 kilometers per hour is 70 kilometers per hour now. We're hitting on this descent. 4.8 kilometers to go. Big long line of riders. Remco Evenepoel does not want to cooperate here. And the rider for KBB Hotels is going to go again. Fair play to him. And it's Matteo Jorgensen is going to mark him out though. But he goes again. And who's going to accelerate to follow this? Is anyone? Well, Oscar Onley has gone with it. He's brought a rider from Bahrain Victorious with him. And then Rogic's going to follow that. A rider from Israel Premier Tech. And a rider from Cofidis. As it's 23 seconds back to Philipsen. The dream of the yellow jersey once again. Well, it slows up here, and a rider from Israel Premier Tech is going to weigh 4 kilometers to go. And surely Pogacar's going to have to send Narvaez. Because Visma Lease bike have a rider away. And these lads start to look around here. Who would be the better sprinter here? we've got to wonder, was 3.7 kilometres to go. Jorgensen now won't cooperate. The stage win possible, and Jorgensen won't pull through. I don't know who's the rider from Israel Premier Tech because he's no numbers on his jersey. Probably blow off. And now Jorgensen blows off the front here. But Joao Almeida, obviously in this group here, because he's in the second group chasing back here. Jorgensen not too committed to ride here, even though they're doing 80 kilometres down the descent. And that's the speed, 80 kilometres per hour. And it's 3 kilometres to go. Today's safe zone, if anyone crashes whatever group the time of the group is, you'll get that time. But here we go. Final 3,000 metres. Probably 3.5 minutes of racing left only for stage 2 of the 2025 Tour de France. Live commentary here on the AFD Cycling Podcast. Florian Lipovic attacks on the right-hand side for Red Bull Bora Hansgrohe. Followed straight away by the rider on the front for Israel Premier Tech. Riders trying to ride across from... Oh, they're on a... Bit of daylight here. Oh, the rider from Israel Premier Tech doesn't have anything. 2 kilometres to go now. We're only into the last 2,000 metres here, people. And don't go anywhere because this is going to be going lightning fast here. Because Lipovic is riding away with it. 2 kilometres to go. I think Mathieu van der Poel is in this group. And is he going to chase? Because Narvaez is chasing. Almeida's on his wheel. Pogacar's there. Probably the strongest rider here is going to be Van der Poel for the sprint. But guys, if you're watching this, don't go anywhere. It's only 1,500 metres to the finish. Probably a minute and a half to the finish here. As Florian Lipovic tries to ride solo here, hitting 57 kilometres per hour on the flat is his speed. But Narvaez pulls off. Almeida has to pull on the front here. 1.3 kilometres to go. And Almeida is going to have to close this gap. A good corner from Joao Almeida. 1.2 kilometres to go. And Lipovic riding solo. And I wonder will Almeida attack off the back of Lipovic if he pulls him in. Here's the Flamme Rouge, the red flag to signify 1 kilometre to go, guys. 1 kilometre to go. Probably 1 minute of racing left only. And here we are, live commentary on the AFD Cycling Podcast. And Almeida brings back Florian Lipovic. And what's going to be the plan here for UAE Emirates XRG? Are they going to lead out Tadej Pogacar, who has Jonas Vingegaard sitting on his wheel, then Mathieu van der Poel, then I think it's Oscar Onley and Felix Gall. And it starts to go up here, remember. Will Almeida attack or will Van der Poel go himself here? Because we're in the last 600 metres of the race here. Attack from Julian Alaphilippe on the right-hand side. Followed by Oscar Onley and Mathieu van der Poel. Tadej Pogacar going with it as well. Almeida slipping back here. But the Dane, Jonas Vingegaard, is riding here to this group. Almeida hasn't even got out of the saddle yet, and he's still in the top 8 or so riders. They're starting to look across here, though. Julian Alaphilippe looking at each other, and the rider who went already for Arkea B&B Hotels is going to go. And here goes Mathieu van der Poel. Mathieu van der Poel, here goes, and he's sitting down here, power, and he goes by. Tadej Pogacar trying to find the room on the barriers. So too does third wheel, Julian Alaphilippe here. And here we go, 200 metres go. This is the sprint lined up by Mathieu van der Poel. Tadej Pogacar on the wheel. Then it's Mathieu van der Poel going to lead it out. Tadej tries to come through, but it's going to be Mathieu van der Poel if Tadej can't come over the top. It's Mathieu van der Poel, winner of stage 2 of the Tour de France 2025. Your new yellow jersey as well, I would think. Tadej Pogacar second, and third for none other than the Dane, Jonas Vingegaard. I think Romain Gregoire was fourth, Alaphilippe fifth, or maybe only fifth, and Gall and Alaphilippe were in there as well. All the riders who were in that bunch finished with that bunch, I believe. And now it's 32 seconds back to the yellow jersey. And Mathieu van der Poel is your winner for Alpecin de Koning. your new yellow jersey as well, I would believe. Hard work there it was to win that stage. Big long sprint, and he beats Tadej Pogacar on the line. And your winner of stage 2 of the Tour de France 2025, and your new yellow jersey as well, I would believe, by 4 seconds. 2 wins in a row for Alpecin Deceuninck. And this is a replay of the finish. So the rider from Arkea B&B Hotels went on left, and then he sat down. And Mathieu van der Poel starts, hitting a hard tempo, and Pogacar has to try to get on the barriers. He's on his wheel. Then it's Alaphilippe. Then it's Vingegaard goes around the other side onto Tadej Pogacar's wheel, skips ahead of Julian Alaphilippe. And then just as Alaphilippe's caught slow, Van der Poel goes, and Tadej is coming over the top of him, but it was a convincing win by Mathieu van der Poel. And I would believe 4th place was Romain Gregoire. 5th could have been any of those riders, actually, because we had very close. So our preliminary results, Mathieu van der Poel, your winner. Tadej Pogacar of UAE Emirates XRG, 2nd, Jonas Vingegaard, 3rd of Team V's Melissa Bike, Romain Gregoire of Groupama FDJ, 4th, Julian Alaphilippe, 5th of Tudor Pro Cycling, Oscar Onley, 6th of Team Picnic Post. Leon Paré-Pientre, I mistook him for Felix Gall. He was 7th for the Catalan Jour La Mondiale. Kevin Vauclin, after his good performance in the Tour de Suisse, is 8th for Arkea B&B Hotels. Simon Velasco of XDS Astana, 9th, and Jeno Brekmos of Lotto is 10th. Mathieu van der Poel, we can confirm, is your new yellow jersey. 2nd place in that classification is Tadej Pogacar, but he will wear the polka dot jersey tomorrow. And Jasper Philipsen will wear the green jersey tomorrow. Yet to see the white jersey leader. I'd assume it was a rider that finished in that front group, that actually finished in the front group yesterday, because Remco Evenepoel didn't achieve that, and neither did Florian Leibovitz. So yeah, don't know if there'll be a live commentary of stage 3. Definitely be back for stage 4. It's big win for Alpecin Deceuninck now, with 2 wins from 2, and the fact that Tadej was able to ride into the polka dot jersey, really, really good for him. But yeah, Kevin Vauclin is your new white jersey. Groupama FDJ are your new team leader. Bruno Almirai is the most competitive rider. And yeah, so, I'll cover that in more depth later in my review episode of Stage 3 and my preview episode of a solid sprint stage. Chance for Jasper Philipsen again and Alpecin to go for 3 from 3. And also we could see the likes of Jonathan Milan and Tim Merlier and Benyam Girmay winning. But of the sprinters, the best placing in today's stage was the former yellow jersey now, Jasper Philipsen. Mathieu van der Poel is your new leader of the classification of the yellow jersey. And that is all for me now in my live stream. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Hopefully now you enjoyed this podcast, and listening to my review and preview of Stage 3 later. Thank you very much for listening, guys. Thank you.